Now it's time for me to voice my opinion again and go on a rant. I'll say this is probably to Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago, maybe some other lawmakers, but a lot to Rahm Emanuel. Well, let's see. I hear you're starting to call for UN peacekeepers up in Chicago to deal with the violence up there. You'd want the UN to come in, but not Donald Trump. Uh, Rahm Emanuel, you hate Donald Trump so bad because, well, let's see, because he beat Hillary Clinton. You wanted Hillary in office. You wanted Obama in office. But let's talk about this gun violence up in Chicago. Y'all, you got a ban on handguns because you hate handguns. See, you don't mind people killing each other, but you hate guns. Why don't we get to other problems here? Why don't you people stop glorifying your rap? Why don't you stop glorifying the rap, hip hop, and the ghetto lifestyle? Why don't you stop that? Why don't you stop glorifying the killing of people, the murder, rape, and drugging and drinking? Why don't you stop doing that? No, you don't want to do that. Because according to you people, that's just freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Well, you see, I believe in free speech also, but I don't not believe in unlimited free speech. Because there are some things you should not say. And I am the victim of unlimited free speech. I know what that stuff does to people. See, you want to talk about stop the violence, but every rap you listen to has violence in it. See, Rahm, you don't want to tell the people to stop the rap, the violence, the hip-hop, ghetto lifestyle, the punk thug bad boy behavior. You don't want to tell people to stop doing that. No. Well, you probably know that you probably lose some votes or whatever, but nobody wants to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the fascination with marijuana. You always say stop the war on drugs. So you want the drugs to just run rampant. And yes, marijuana is wrong to smoke, regardless of how you people feel about it. So you want the violence to stop, but you don't want to stop glorifying the violence. Chicago has such a high murder rate, but nobody really knows what to do about it. Well, stop glorifying it. And you know, Rahm, if you would have every citizen in Chicago carry a handgun, watch the gun violence drop really fast. Because if everybody carried a handgun, then everybody would be afraid of committing crime because they'd think they'd be getting shot. Oh. So why don't we get to the real issues here of people wanting to glorify violence? They glorify the ghetto lifestyle. Ooh, and Aaron's probably going to get mad at me, but so what? I don't care. It's like there's nothing funny or cool or glorious about violence. There's nothing glorious about shooting somebody and murdering them. And Eminem, you're a stupid punk thug. That's all you are. You think you had a hard life growing up? I had a hard life growing up. I don't go around doing those things that you're doing. No, spewing your hate and violence. Can't figure out why your wife wanted to leave you. Can't figure out why she almost killed herself. But there you are up on stage during one of your raps with a blow-up doll, stabbing it, acting like that's your wife, and then can't figure out why your wife wants to leave you. Duh! You hate Donald Trump so bad because he says, stop doing what you're doing. And you don't want to do that. It makes you mad. And that goes to any rapper out there. People, don't you dare try to say Black Lives Matter and you're listening to rap all the time. Don't do that. Don't. So let's see. Every rap is full of violence. full of degrading women, drinking, drugging, shooting people, stabbing people, beating people. Just a bunch of punk thugs trying to brag about how tough and bad they are. And yes, Chicago is full of rap and drugging and violence. That's not a racist statement either. That's just a plain fact. And Rahm Emanuel, why don't you teach people about the 10 Commandments, the one that says, thou shalt not kill. Oh, you don't want to do that because all separation of church and state. Why don't you teach the people of thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal. Oh, you don't want to do that because that's unconstitutional. We got separation of church and state. Shut up, people. Shut up, ACLU. Shut up. That's the American Communist League Union. Why don't we talk about the fact that people want to glorify the violence, but then they want to complain about violence? Why don't we talk about all these women out there complaining about domestic violence and getting beat up by their abusive boyfriends and husbands all the time, but they want to run right straight back to guys like that? Why don't we talk about that? No, you don't want to. There's a degree of personal responsibility. If all you women out there can ignore me, you can ignore those guys that beat on you. Oh, you don't want to do that, though. You don't want to ignore that. You claim you want a good, nice guy. That's not what you want. You're a liar. You want a punk and thug acting like a jerk all the time. That's what you want. Rahm Emanuel, I would say you're fired. You don't care about the American people. You care about your own opinion. You want to stay in power and just have fun. It actually excites you for the violence and your rebellion. See, nobody wants to deal with personal responsibility. I say, stop the rap. Stop the rap, hip-hop, ghetto lifestyle. Stop that. There's nothing glorious about getting in a fight or shooting somebody. No, there's not. There's nothing glorious about committing adultery and getting drunk and getting high. Nothing glorious about that. Nothing glorious about rapping about locking your girlfriend in a burning building. Nothing glorious or right about that. That's not freedom of speech or entertainment. That's instructions for murder and violence. That's what that is. And we need to bring all these rappers up on charges for inciting violence. And people going up and down the road, blaring the radio real loud, stop that.